Mohsin Pakistan Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan writes in his autobiography that what is wrong with our creation as a nation is that even the charm of country and the nation are not protected from the evil of our decision makers. It seems that Hazrat Ali Karamallahu Wajhul Kareem has said about our past and present decision makers that do favors to whomever you do. Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan writes, when the operation and hospital were mentioned, another incident of hardship and restrictions on Pervez Musharraf's disciple was remembered. I was in hospital after the operation. Senator Professor Khurshid Ahmed asked for permission to meet me by the acting president of Pakistan, Mr. Muhammad Mia Somro. He told Professor Khurshid by asking the DG SPD and verifying that they could meet. Mr. Khurshid took a flight from Islamabad at 10 o'clock. He reached the hospital directly from the airport to visit me. So a favor was forgotten by the secretary officer whom I had taken mercy on and gave him a job after retirement. I put them down in the hall for 2.5 hours and did not let them meet and went back to Islamabad by 4 o'clock flight in a state of great despair and helplessness. The security officer who had attacked me also ignored the permission given by the Director General SPD at the behest of the President of Pakistan. I stayed there about 4 weeks. I was unwell. Dr. Farhat Abbas of Aga Khan Hospital used to check, and Muhammad Atta, a very expert physiotherapist, used to do my physiotherapy. His colleagues Javed Khan and Babar Islam used to come to shake me and change clothes etc. I am deeply grateful to all of them. After staying in Karachi for about 5 weeks, I was brought to Islamabad after several hours of travel in a very small ship and put under house arrest again. Sitting in small ship for a long time, I got a blood clot about 10 inches long in my left leg. It hurt a great deal. Our KRL expert, Dr. Salim Qureshi, with very good treatment, prevented him from going further. After many years, I still have severe pain in this leg. Referring to his colleagues, it came to my mind that Pervez Musharraf had maintained unjustified and unfair treatment of sanctions against me, and it is still continuing, and this incident which I am now going to mention will confirm to me. When General Rahil Sharif was the army chief, his mother died. My friend Mr. Shaukat Virk, Executive Director of our welfare hospital, Dr. A.Q. Khan Hospital Trust, went to the Army Chief in Lahore to offer him condolences. When Mr. Virk also sent a message of condolence to the Chief on my behalf, he asked if Dr. Khan was in Lahore. When Mr. Virk said that he was in Islamabad, General Rahil Sharif told Brigadier Azhar Saleh Abbasi that when I meet friend at Army House Rawalpindi to offer my mother's condolences, you contact him on the day and the day will tell them so that they can inform Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan. Then came Brigadier Azhar Saleh Abbasi message. He said the army chief will meet the guests from 2:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Thursday. Mr. Virk and Colonel retired Anwarul Haq came to Rawalpindi from Lahore, and I informed my security in charge, Colonel Javed Jadoon, that at 3 p.m. I would go to the army house to offer condolences to the army chief. Mr. Shaukat Virk and Colonel Anwarul Haq reached the army house and met General Rahil Sharif and asked him where Dr. Sahib was. Mr. Virk naively said that he was on the way when I was tired of saying to my security officer, Colonel Javed Jidoon here. But he replied that there was no clearance. I got ready and sat down from 2:30 to 4 p.m. I was only supposed to go to regret to Army Chief in this hour of grief, but I was also deprived of it. Although, according to Islamic teachings, this is a moment that is filled with suffering and pain, but I was not allowed to go for it either. However, I am getting this reward for making this country a nuclear and missile power. US President Barack Obama and the Secretary of State forbade the sleep of our rulers for to wipe killer Raymond Davis and took it out of butter like a hair. While the rulers treat the military strong and the country's rescuer. This is the huge question mark. And the helpers were also subjected to the harsh control of the Western tyrants. Tahir Bukhari and his engineer brother Saeed faced several hardships. Saeed was kept locked up in Dubai for a long time and Tahir Bukhari in Malaysia. His company was taken over and all funds were seized. Tahir Bukhari had sent a message from a friend that the Americans and the disciples of Pervez Musharraf with him questioned him a lot and later typed two statements and told him a sign here. When he hesitated and said he wanted to read it, he was threatened to sign or else he would be sent to the United States. He had a wife and three young children. He forced them to sign the papers. When Zafarullah Khan Jamali was the Prime Minister, Pervez Musharraf also told him to take permission from the cabinet and hand me over Abdul Qadir Khan to the United States. But Zafarullah Khan Jamali's bravery and patriotism came in the way and he flatly refused. As a result, he lost the prime ministership. Zafarullah Khan Jamali himself told the fact to analyst Mazhar Abbas on TV. There has been an impression in the country that I have been impressed to protect me from Americans.